Hear that? You better run when you hear that. I said run when you hear that. You better run when you hear that. I said run when you 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 hear that. I said you better run. I said run when you hear that. Run when you hear that. You better run. I said run when you hear that. Run when you hear that. Run when you hear that. Run when you hear that.
Yeah. Dude, that's a fucking view.
Yeah, boys.
Howdy,
Check
neighbour.
out the view.
Good evening, everybody. Bruce Foster, Chewing the Fat, and sorry, I just got a message here from Michael, our guest. We'll get Michael on shortly. Good evening, everybody. Bruce Foster, Jetski Republic. Welcome to the show, our penultimate show of 2023. Next week we've got something a little bit different. We did it last year as well, and we'll finish off the year with a bit of a giveaway, and we'll close off the year on a high, and we'll look back on some of the good things that have happened over the course of the last 12 months. And yeah, so it's going to be a good one. So that video there was Ryan Bennett, the boys up at Whit Sundays. The Lindeman Island was devastated by Cyclone Yasi. I can't remember the year. Someone might be able to correct me. And so we'll plow on with that. But from that location, it used to be a really good resort, wiped out by Yasi, as a few other islands were in that time. But I believe that there's people have just bought it and are starting to make some work plans to get it all redone again. So hopefully it's another little place that people can stop off at. There's there's a number of great looking places up there that you can stop off. So yeah, we'll look forward to see how that one all plays out. All right, so let's get Michael plugged in. We've got Michael Byriel on. So for those of you that are not aware of who Michael is, Michael up this way in southeast Queensland is very much the person to speak to with regards to riding your ski out on the bay, in the northern part of the bay, Byriel Island, up the passage, over to Moreton Island. That's his playground. He's been there on numerous occasions. He knows the place like the back of his hand. The place, he is the person that I would most trust, knowledge-wise, for that area and for just jet skiing in general. So let's get him tuned in and let's get cracking, and we'll get him on. Start chewing the fat with him, and let's see what he's got to say. I've been hoping to get Michael on for a while, but I don't think he really felt comfortable doing it. But let's see where we're at. So let me just do a couple of things. So Michael, I'm just waiting on you logging in. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Let me just change over to the other screen. And I don't have his picture. Michael, give me 2 seconds, mate. I've just got to find your picture. Yeah, I've lost you again. Bloody hell. 2 seconds, mate. Can I hear? Can you? There we go. There we go. Got you now. Perfect.
Yep.
Michael, pleasure. Absolute
Yep.
pleasure. Now,
Yeah, my too.
I'm trying to get you. There we go. You're looking pretty good, pretty handsome. So, Michael, what are you wondering why I got you on, or is it pretty obvious to you?
I think it's pretty obvious. Yes.
Now, you've got a few strings to your bow as far as all the things that you do. Jet skiing obviously being one of them.
Yep.
But before I met you, you were doing a variety of different things before you ever got into the jet skiing stuff. You want to rattle off a few things that you've been doing in the past, career-wise and that? You're a man of many talents.
Well, before I did a lot of jet skiing and really got into it, I was a kite surfer. So that was my passion at the time. You know, I worked in a kite surfing store. I worked as an instructor back when kite surfing was brand new and it was the latest craze. I was very heavily into it, and I still do it now. So when it's windy and the bay blows up and it's just too windy to go out, out on the ski, I'm happy because I can go out kite surfing as well. So it's the best of both worlds.
It is. So when you're one extreme to the other, either way, you've got an activity to do.
Yeah. There's always something to do here on the peninsula.
Yep. Well, I've seen them down at Wellington Point. That is one crazy sport.
Yep. Yeah, I know Wello. We call it Mars because it's got rocks on the beach.
Down there it has, yeah. You'll have them up your way as well, don't you? Or do you stay away from that and try and
I stay away from those rocky areas.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. Brighton, Sandgate, I'll often frequent the Redcliffe Peninsula, depending on the wind direction at the time or how I'm feeling. Yep.
So, are you ever one of these kite surfers that kind of jumps over islands, kind of thing? Have you ever attempted one of them?
Not jumping an island, but I am what I call the old school type of kite surfer that does really nothing else but teabagging. That a lot of people say.
I know about teabagging, but maybe not the teabagging that you're referring to.
No, which is just big air. Definitely not. Definitely
not that one.
No, not that one.
Sorry about that. I'm taking it off in a different direction now.
Oh, it often goes down that direction. It does.
So, what got you? Obviously, you were starting off at kite surfing. What made you make that jump to jet skiing?
Probably what made me jump to jet skiing, and I did grow up jet skiing as well, but I never really. I grew up on a family one. I never had my own. But what changed my whole idea of jet skiing was one day I went out to Moreton Island on a mate's boat.
Yep.
And I saw jet skis coming into Tangalooma, and I was thinking, wow, like I don't remember growing up taking out 2 straight family jet ski out to Tangalooma.
Yep.
And at that time, there was a really big surge of people on personal watercraft crossing the bay and making it all the way to Moreton Island. Yep. And this was back in the late 2000s, say 2011, 2012, particularly from 2012, 2013, when a lot of the brands brought out their deluxe big.
Yeah, they started to kind of diversify a little bit more into specific models.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
And I thought, you know what, I need to check this out and see what it's all about.
And you've never looked back?
No, definitely not looked back.
Now,
I was at Tangalooma.
Yeah, well, the thing was, you're talking about Tangalooma there. Are we talking about like when they used to run up to the resort, like just rock up?
Yeah. Back in the day, you could go to the resort.
Exactly. Can't do that now, which is really unfortunate.
No,
But there's better
it is
places to go. There's just equally as good places to go.
maybe better places actually.
Michael, I know you know that island like the back of your hand, and you know all the little niche places to go. What's your favorite main one?
Oh, that's a hard one. To answer that question easier, it would be depending on the weather on the day.
Yeah.
But generally, I'm never going to be bored of the Tangalooma Rex.
Yep.
I'm never bored of it.
Yep. It's quite something, eh?
It is. I think that it's very iconic. It's a world-class snorkeling site,
Yep.
and it's so underrated. A lot of people in Southeast Queensland have yet to experience it.
Definitely. I love to kind of stay away from that little bit. Like I've looked at all that. I've been through all that, and it is a great spot. There's no doubt about it. I'm always a bit cagey going to the south because of the the marine areas, and it's just some of the passages can be a little bit narrow, or the channels can be a little bit narrow. It doesn't help that I don't have the actual maps. I don't have the GPS kind of thing on my ski. I know you do, and a few of the other people, a few other people that are always frequenting those areas. But I do like the gutter bar down there. That little beach area down there is lovely.
Yeah, isn't it fantastic?
Yeah.
Isn't it a really
Castaways up at the Boulevard Rex?
Yeah, it's recently been done up with
Oh, I
schoolmates.
need to check that one out. I haven't been over for a while. I need to check that one out.
Completely transformed.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. Good to know. I saw a nice little article about the gutter bar on one of the other Facebook pages. I'm going to actually highlight it later on. It was a gutter bar back in the day when it was something else, and then it changed to something that it is now. So I'm gonna go through that one later on. Now, one of there's always people questioning about going to see Moreton Island, and they don't know what they're doing. They've never been before. It's not that they don't know what they're doing. They're a bit apprehensive because it can have its pitfalls. So,
Yes.
For you, like picking your brains, for you, what would be an ideal situation which would get you heading over that way? And I know most people would say, "Oh, just go in any weather," but that's the more seasoned riders that would do that.
Yes.
So
That's correct.
what would be a ideal situation for you yourself, and then maybe for someone that's never been before?
Well, number one, if someone's never been before, I would always advise anyone that's never been to reach out to the community and put their hands up and ask for advice and to ride with someone that knows the way.
Yep.
That would be hands down number one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how I learned. That's why I never did it myself. I did it with a group. Straight out of now, where did I go from? I went from Byriel Island originally. The first couple of times. So it was really, for me, it was just a straight run over.
Yep.
And then obviously Scarborough. It was eventually doing that, but I still did that.
Getting over is easier to navigate getting over. It's coming back to your preferred port that can be quite tricky for the...
Yep. I've seen myself going, because I don't have the GPS, I've seen myself going in a certain direction of where I believe it is, and then I've had to make a drastic change of direction in order to get where I need to be going.
Yeah. That's everyone's got that story or tale to tell when they venture out their first time when they're fresh.
Yeah, you're looking for that landmark and you just can't really see it.
Yeah.
Bribey's easy. Bribey's a little bit easier because you just look for the southern part of the island and you get head for it.
Yeah, and you've got the Glasshouse Mountains. It's not quite the right direction, but if you aim for the Glasshouse Mountains, and as you get closer and closer, you'll see the iconic parts of Byriel Island.
Yep. Now, Steve Hopwood's asking, why don't you organise a little group to go over? Steve, believe it or not, Stephen, believe it or not, Michael actually does organise little groups to go over. But I don't know. I'm like, as a lot of people don't seem to want to do them from Scarborough for some reason. And I don't know why.
Oh, look, the reason why that people from Scarborough don't really organise groups is because I have to admit we're really spoiled here. So, like this morning, I didn't have much work on for the day, so I woke up, looked at the weather, and I went, "Wow, like let's go to Moreton." And I've got a mate just next door and mate around the corner, and we all just went, "Oh yeah, we'll meet you at the ramp in next 30 minutes," sort of thing. So
See, that's not too
that's
bad.
pretty easy. And so when we live here, it's not much logistics of and going and you know what the funny part is, it's quite often a case where we turn up to the ramp and we go, "Oh, funny you're here today," and we all meet and actually most often meet at Moreton Island.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You normally always bang into someone. Like like when I was doing it quite a bit, there was always some people that you would bang into, including yourself. We'd be passing each other on the water. I might be going out
Yeah.
a little bit later, and you'd be coming in. You'd been out since like 5:30 in the morning, and we're passing you at 9 o'clock, and we're heading out.
Yeah, I'll probably have to go back to work when I'm coming back like that.
Yep.
I would have gone for a morning snorkel perhaps. Look, I should probably organise maybe some groups. I have to admit, Bruce, I used to do them all the time.
I know you did. I know you did.
One time,
Yeah.
I did organise a group, and it it changed everything. And that's one of the reasons why I've shied away from posting rides and groups from that one experience.
Was that the big party one, or was it something?
Well, it wasn't
Oh,
meant to
not
be a big
quite.
party. It did get very, very big very quickly. And a lot of people on the island know me from that. There's some people that will still say hi to me today going,
No, I remember. I remember this one. Oh, like I can't remember exactly when was it. It was probably about what 7 years ago, maybe?
2017.
Yeah, so
2017.
6 years ago
February.
it was. So for anybody who doesn't know about this one, Michael originally posted up a little group thing in one of the Facebook pages saying, "Hey, let's have a little party thing on the island." And before he knew it, it just blew up. Like, we're not just talking like 100 skis, we're talking like thousands.
It got to over 4,000.
Yeah, we're
Over
talking about
4,000.
thousands of people were going to be coming to this event, and Michael was getting some heavy heat from the authorities in regards to this event, and had to, for obvious reasons, had to can the whole event. They wanted money off you as well, because they're saying if you're going to hold this event, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. Was that correct? If I remember correctly?
I'll probably need to clarify a few things. So it was October, it was October 24, 2017, because my birthday is on November 24. And I thought 4 weeks out, I will organise for a few mates to, come join me at Bulwar, and I'll shout a few drinks, and it'd be great to catch up with everyone for my birthday. I'd started making a lot of friends, and at that time too, I was doing the anchors, and I wanted to meet my customers, and I thought this would be really, really good. And I remember posting the event back in those days. Things weren't so tight with Facebook and social media. I posted an event, and silly me, I didn't make it a private event. It was something that could be shared. Posted it before I went to bed that night on the 25th of October. Woke up the next morning, and boom, it was 400 people coming.
No, it didn't help, Michael, because back then we had. Now I've got Randy Cabrera on from the Florida Ski Riders. He's actually just made a comment saying it sounds like his kind of event. Back then, they were doing those kind of events, and I think that's where we all kind of went, "Oh, hang on a minute, we could do that as well." And everybody was all getting on the bandwagon a wee bit. But you wanted to do a private event, but like you said, you forgot to make it a private event, and before you knew it, boom, like literally.
Well, things
overnight.
are so different in Australia. Like in America, I think it's almost part of their constitution that you have these sandbar parties. It's part of their culture.
Yeah. Yeah, they do it every weekend.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't do that because it's tightly. There's too much red tape here.
That's correct. But it's funny, on Australia Day, when the conditions are right,
Ah.
it's all, all bets are off. Just go.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like
You'll find those kind of numbers over at Tangalooma or down at the Broad Beach
Oh,
or
yes.
wherever quite easily, and nobody bats an eyelid.
No, it's Australia Day, and it's the Australian thing to do. But in America, it's just whenever the conditions are right. I think they've got one place called Crab Island, which they have huge sandbar parties. I'm sure the Florida jet ski riders could elaborate on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Randy would elaborate on that one. So he's saying it's tough, even when you try and promote it lightly. He says it can be tough. You still get a lot of people turning up. But yeah, yours went through the roof.
Mine, to give you an idea of how big mine got, the next day I actually contacted the water police, panicking a bit, saying, I want to do the right thing. I'm not going to run this event. It's ridiculous. It's out of control. What should I do? And back then, I guess they didn't have the training and the skills to deal with this kind of issue.
Yep.
The old bloke that I spoke to just said, I'll just tell everyone on your post that you need to cancel it, and just say that the police said that it's too risky and we shouldn't do it. And so I did it, and I was very reluctant to do it because I thought it would backfire, and I did it, and it backfired. And the next thing you know, people were running their own private events, and I tried to find and count them all. And look, I got to about probably close to 5,000 groups that I could find, all descending to Moreton Island that same day. And within a week, it was on the radio, it was being advertised as the annual Moreton Island Sandbar Party.
Oh boy.
It was in print media, it was in the newspapers, it was in magazines. It got to the point where by the end of the week, I had people calling me saying, where do I apply to set up my food stall?
At the end of my drive.
Oh, yeah. I had everyone calling me. I had
Wow.
Sea Shepherd call me.
Hey, Michael, that would have been a hell of a party, mate. It would have been a hell of a party.
It would have. It's funny because that day, apparently, Tipplers had a massive party on that actual day. Yeah, it was
And they got away
crowded.
with it. They got away with it.
I prayed for the worst weather that day on my actual birthday. In fact, it was so bad that I felt so sick. I bought tickets and I flew to Melbourne that day. I had to leave the state.
It couldn't nothing to do with me. I wasn't in the state at that time.
It was so big that the water police brought 3 police boats and stationed
Oh my God.
police on the island for the whole weekend of that,
Just in
for my
case.
birthday,
Just in case.
just in case.
That's because they were waiting on you arriving, and then they would just put you in jail.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Lock you up. Just as well you never
They
took
would-
an inconspicuous little ride over on your own. Oh, there he is. Quick, nick him.
Well, a lot of them that I've met over the years have said, Michael, you are a living legend, because
I have
we
to say,
got
Michael, you
to.
pretty much are. You pretty much are. It's
Oh,
like, as soon,
I-
I hate to say it, but as soon as your name's mentioned, everybody goes, "Oh yeah, the anchor guy," or oh yeah, he knows a lot about Moreton Bay Island. You know, so mate, your reputation precedes you, mate.
Oh, thank you. I'm very passionate about the island.
Seriously, I'm not joking with you. Like, a lot of people saying on the like, there'll be people commenting and say, "Oh, you're looking," like there's be people already saying, "Oh, you're looking great, Michael," all that kind of stuff. So, there's people. You've got the love, mate. You've got the love.
Oh, look, I wouldn't. My anchors would never be where they've got to today without the support of the community.
Yep.
They've been so supportive, so loyal. Over the years, I've really learned a lot, and I really believe that you only get out of what you put back into the community. So I'm very
Speaking of
passionate.
the devil, I've actually popped it up in the background behind me. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yep. So I originally, now before we go any further, guys, I've got Michael on here purely as a jet ski enthusiast, rider. It was nothing to do with a kickback or any nonsense, anything like that. It was purely about Michael himself and his love of the bay, riding, and obviously he makes these anchors. All right, handmade, gets all the parts for you. I've had mine for about 7 years now. Hands down for me is one of the best ones. I can't fault it at all. It's great for what it does over in Moreton Bay and pretty much anywhere I've used it. It's usually been pretty good. Now, tell people about how this came about.
Well, how it came about was back in 2014, 2015, I became quite ill. I remember one day not being able to move. I didn't know what was wrong with me. After a few tests and blood tests and checks and that sort of thing, it turned out that I had a bad case of being hyperthyroid. So my thyroid was
thyroid
shutting down,
Yep.
slowing down, and I couldn't work. I actually spent a good 6 months not working at all. I had to take a break, and me being me, I can't sit still. I just can't sit still. And when I did get enough energy, I did go out on my ski. And I remember not having enough energy at the time to pull my ski off the beach, because back then everyone was beaching, like you beach a ski, and I just didn't have the strength. I wasn't fit enough to be able to do it. And I'd stumble across this anchor, and it was just a real rigmarole trying to find someone that knew how to make an anchor for a personal watercraft. Back then there was sandbags, there was
back then there wasn't really, there was nothing, there wasn't anything back then.
No, there wasn't, and not for things like Moreton Island rides and that sort of thing. So I thought I'd put together something. I got bored sitting at home. I had to do something. So I made my own anchor rig, and I started testing it and playing with it and getting it to work for me. And then one day I went on a ride with Fiona Bridges. She's out here on the peninsula, and she taught me everything I know about Moreton Island, by the way. And
so I've got the wrong person on then.
She taught me everything I know. She got me to where I got to today. I really will give credit to her. She's a big rider too. Right. But we were sitting around, and I had someone tap me on the shoulder going, "Oh, look, do you mind if you make me what you've got there? I'll pay for the parts, put it together." Then I did a few more rides, and next thing you know, I had a few other people hear about it, and you just grew so big. And look, I never set out to ever plan on making a business making jet ski anchors. I would laugh if someone told me that, but it kind of worked out really well, because it gave me something to do. While I wasn't able to work, it really helped me mentally feel really rewarded that I could still do something that I enjoyed and was really passionate about. And from here now, like stores with the rigs, and I know there's a bit of competition at the moment with some, with,
there is now.
With people.
There has been lately in the past 24 months. 2-3 years. There's been quite a few popping up on the market. Listen, each one's got their strengths and each one's got their pitfalls.
Absolutely.
There's no perfect one as far as some people will swear by, particular brands and particular ones that they use. Listen, I've tried the Sand Shark one. It was all right. But the only one I really like, and if I'm honest, well, it is, but the only one that I really liked was the synthetic type plastic one. It was quite a big one. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was actually the cheapest one of the cheapest ones that they had. That one wasn't too bad, but the problem with it was it's only good in sand. So it kind of really, and it had to be reasonably loose sand. If it was coarse sand, it didn't stay in as well. You had to really screw it in quite far, and it was just so laborious. And then the issue as well was, if you were in deep water, you were literally having to duck under the water to try and screw it in. And that was the only issues I had with it. It was all right. It was a good enough product, but yours was a lot easier because you just throw it in the water and just wait on it biting, and then that's you. You're set. You know. So that one's a lot easier. Now, if I'm right up on the beach, then those screw-in ones are pretty good, or the push-in ones like thonkers and stuff like that. They're pretty good. I just
They
think,
look cool.
yeah, well, they do look cool. I've never seen a thonkers up close. I've never tried one. I don't I don't know what they're like. Obviously, some people say they're great. I wouldn't like to comment either way. So it seems to be like if you're wanting something that's a bit robust and it's lasts, then I think yours would be the way to go. I've still got yours, and I've had that one for what 6 years, 7 years now, almost. In fact, it's probably longer than that.
I think it's just the simplicity of the design. It's something that is a good all-rounder and a good something to add for anyone starting that's in sand. So it's a good starting point. There's no one anchor that's good for all different conditions. I mean, even I make custom designs for different types of purposes now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. So, if anybody's interested in your particular anchor, which outlets are stocking them at the moment? Do you know?
At the moment, I could tell you who stocks them: Gold Coast Wave Runner, Sydney Watercraft, the Shoreline guys that do Sea-Doo, Yamaha, custom jet skis, iJetski, Brisbane Kawasaki.
Okay. So all the main outlets, basically. Most of the main outlets. Yep. That's
yeah,
cool.
here in Southeast Queensland, there's one. I've got Sydney Watercraft down in Sydney.
Well done.
Well
done. What about the boys what about the boys in Perth? Fridays Can-Am.
I've had customers that some of their customers actually reach out and buy their stuff, and I think a few years ago I was sending stuff out that way. It comes in cycles and waves. Someone will see one and they'll go, "Oh, I need that," or they'll contact me and go, "Look, I want something like that, but can you make it different colors?" Like for me, it's just an anchor. So
but there's some people that want the pink.
Oh,
or they want the
need
blue, or they want the red,
stick.
or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you've got to kind of keep those customers happy. Can they still reach out to you personally if they want to buy one directly from you rather than through the outlets, or are you trying to avoid that as much as you can?
I try to encourage people to buy from the stores. Like I said, I really believe in supporting each other.
Yep.
I do sell direct to people that might live in a place where they're not near a store. So people will reach out, and then there's what I call very last minute sort of people that I get all the time, especially this time of year where they're going out to Tangalooma and they don't have an anchor. And some of the group riders go, "You need to call this number or call this guy."
And give him a shout. Yep.
And I might have an emergency backup ready to go if it's very last minute.
Yep.
But overall, I really encourage people to go to the stores because those guys know what you need, and if they think that my anchor's not going to suit, and they can recommend a different anchor.
Something else. Yep.
Yeah, and I absolutely love the Thonkers guys. I love anyone that has actually been brave enough and got the courage to actually attempt to try something new. Like, it's so ingenious.
I love the way it looks. Like, I've got to say, I love the way it looks. Like, it looks like a thong, and you just push it into the ground like you're putting your foot into a thong. I think that's just fantastic. Fantastic way. It's cheeky, yes.
It's genius.
And it is completely Australian.
I love the Thonkers guys. Like, I love anyone that wants to give it a go and try it. I mean, I've had so many loyal customers going, "You know what, such and such has just copied your design." And I go, "Look, you can't really copy my design because it's like a sandwich, like you can make one yourself, but I've got one convenient and ready to go." I mean, you can buy a sandwich from a 7-Eleven or a service station, and it's an egg salad or chicken salad sandwich. You can make one at home, but you know what? It's here ready to go.
Yep.
You can buy it now. It's convenience, and that's what I love.
Randy's made a comment. Randy Cabrera's made a comment about, is that the Blue Coopers? Yes, it is the Blue Coopers, Randy, sorry. It's a combination of a few different parts from different outlets that Michael has put together in a little package with a bag. And obviously he's able to sell that on as a product. So and people like there's many products on the market at the moment that serve the similar purpose or the same purpose, but they've all got different purposes or different little needs and requirements for conditions to use them properly.
And mine's still hand spliced by hand, by
Yeah.
me, by my hands. Every single one's done by hand.
Mate,
Like I said, back in the days when I didn't have the energy, when I was hyperthyroid and just didn't have the energy, actually just splicing was my mental outlet. And I still have not changed that design. I haven't decided to be lazy and just make a knot. I've actually got them all hand spliced by hand, every single one.
now I'm going to network here quickly with you. So, Richie Ryder, if you want to reach out to him, he's asked a question about can these be shipped to New Zealand?
Yeah, they can, but unfortunately, look, I can do it. The shipping cost to New Zealand, and a lot of Kiwis, a lot of guys in New Zealand understand this. It isn't cheap. It's
I don't know how much I don't know how many they might be talking about trying to ship over, but hey, listen,
it's cheap to do a
Richie,
bulk
my
buy.
advice to you, Richie, would be to contact Michael and have a chat with him and see what can be arranged. It might be a case of if someone you know is coming over from Australia to New Zealand, they might be able to bring them with them, and that might help you with the shipping costs. What else do we have? We got. I think that was the last of the main comments. So now, one of the questions from Angela Sheedy had asked, what would be the perfect weather for, now we're going back a little bit here, so advice on the best weather conditions for crossing the bay.
I like that question, and I get asked that all the time.
That's why I'm asking again.
The first thing I'll say after years and years of writing, and I will elaborate on it, is look, if you're waiting for the perfect day and the perfect weather, that day will never really come. No. Okay, you have to actually embrace many different types of conditions. But as a rule, as a general rule, you're always aiming, and a lot of, and you probably know this, for wind forecasts for under 10 knots. Yep. Okay. Now, that's really difficult, because what people are really asking me is going, well, I looked at the forecast and it was going to be a beautiful day. It wasn't going to be blowing more than 10 knots. And then when I went out there, it ended up being so much more than 10 knots. And then I see you out there, Michael, on a day that was meant to be windy and it was glass flat.
Yep.
And that's the question that people are really asking me. And I'm going, look, it does, locals do get to know.
Yep.
And if I can narrow it down, I did say I was a kite surfer. So in the kite surfing world, I'm a member of kite surfing groups and wind sports groups. If those guys are looking at the forecast and they're miserable and going, oh, day, go out.
That's a chance to go. You need to set up your own little weather centre there, mate, just for riders to get out.
Yeah. So if the kite surfers aren't happy, that's the day to go. If they're happy and you're thinking, hang on, but the forecast looks good, but the kite surfers going.
It's funny because I've actually followed a couple of kite surf groups, because I remember you mentioning this a few years ago, and I've started following a couple of kite surf groups, and it's just purely for that reason, to get an idea of when they're going out and when they're not going out.
Look, Bruce, I've got to be honest. I have thought about, it's funny that you mentioned this. I have thought about spending a little bit of time in the Jetski community to explain how I read the weather a little bit more. It's not something that I think I could really explain in a very short sentence or a short paragraph. But actually, for people that are asking this question, going, I'd like to understand the Bay a bit better, I'm happy to make a workshop or take some time out and explain to people, these are the things you got to look out for, and these are your cues for when it's time to go, and these are what you've got to look out. These are things you've got to look out for. And within about 30 minutes of specialized time dedicated to answering that question, I'm pretty sure I can get everyone across the line.
Yep. Listen, mate, we'll catch up. We'll have a catch up after the show, and we can talk about that if you want, and we can try and see if we can put something together. All right.
Yeah.
You up for that?
Yeah, I'd be up for that. I
Right.
think everyone would benefit.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that it's the kind of things that are needed in the community. You know, I know Jake and Alan and that have been trying to do stuff like that as well, and that's the kind of stuff that they would love to see as well. So, yeah, I think it would be invaluable for a lot of people to get an idea, even if we can do it as a video, as a permanent example that people can just keep referring back to, especially new
Yeah,
writers. Especially new
yeah.
writers, we can just say to them, here, watch this video, and then it's just something else that we can add to it. So that would be fantastic. All right.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really good idea. Would be happy to
Well,
put
let's
something.
let's discuss it once we get off air, and like not necessarily tonight, but over the next couple of days, we can talk about it and see what the go is. Listen, before I let you go, I normally let everybody have a shout out, all the guests have a shout out and thank to whoever that supports them and loves them and whatever else. So the floor is all yours, Michael. On you go, mate.
Firstly, look, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Shoreline Yamaha. Those guys have been so fantastic. They have got, they've helped me over the years. They've helped so many of my riding mates. Those guys have been absolutely a hoot as well. So I can't thank them enough. Shoreline Yamaha, Patrick and the guys, Pierre, Geordie, of course.
Yeah, don't forget Geordie. He might be upset with you, mate.
He's there now, actually. He's at Yamaha at the moment.
He was down there the other day doing a video, I think it was. Was it a video for Yamaha?
Yeah.
Trying to sell off
Yes,
some of the
he
stock
was.
that they have?
He was.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. Without those guys, I couldn't achieve any of the things that I've been able to do, and for everyone else as well.
They're keeping a lot of people on the water, that's for sure.
Yeah. And to yourself too. So I really thank you for inviting me onto your podcast.
Michael, it's one of the scenarios where I've always wanted to get people on that see the names in the Facebook and social media, and we want to just get the face on as well, so that people can instantly identify the face with a name.
Yes, I think that's a great idea, because there's there are some awesome people in this community. There really are.
Hey, listen, we all have our spots. I won't be, I'll hold my hand up. I've had my falling out with people from time to time as well. Only just recently, in fact. But I understand that everybody's all trying to pull in the same direction. It's just views and opinions can be different. That's all. You know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, everyone's heart is...
But we all want the same thing. At the end of the day, we're all wanting to try and get the same thing. Achieve the same thing as well. So, and it's the safety of riders, good riding, make sure everybody's got the right, equipment and all that kind of stuff, and they're basically safe on the water, and they get to their destinations without any trouble.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You've hit the nail right on the head. People are very passionate about that, and sometimes with passion, there can be a little bit of...
It can be, and I can be just as guilty of it, just as guilty. So, listen, mate, pleasure having you on. Absolutely loved it. And guys, if you're wanting to buy one of Michael's anchors, all your main suppliers, Jetski, Shoreline, Brisbane Kawasaki, if you're at a loss, send a message to me. I'll find the nearest place for you, or I'll ask Michael.
I can certainly point you all in the right direction. And just lastly, a portion of the sales actually get donated to VMR. So
nice one, Michael.
As well. Yeah.
Nice one.
Again,
I like it. Yep. That's awesome, Michael. All right, mate. Listen, we need to go out on the water soon. So I'm overdue considerably a trip over to Moreton Island. So do give me a bit of a heads up when you're heading, and I'll see if I can join you. Okay, mate.
I'm sure I can put on something special for you.
Oh, thanks, Michael. All right, mate. Take it easy. Thank you.
Okay, take it.
All right, take care. Thanks again.
Bye.
So there we go. That was good. I enjoyed that one. That was fantastic. Michael, thank you very much for coming on and sharing a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Moreton Bay. And as we say, we're only really scratching at the surface with the Moreton Bay. and the island itself. There is so much more to it, and hopefully over time we can start to get more of that out to everybody, so they so everyone gets a better understanding of what's going on. So hey, let's move on, and we'll go. I've got this next week. Before I move on to the roundup, and it's a brief roundup. Next week, we've got something a little bit different. So I'm just going to hopefully this video will run properly. So let me just run this.
You better watch out, you better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
There we go. Okay, so next week, as you can guess, we've got we've got a giveaway next week, and we're going to have a look back on the last year and reminisce a little bit on what's gone past in the last 12 months. And we've got a giveaway from pretty much all our sponsors as well. And so tune in. There will be, you'll have to earn these giveaways, these prizes. So it's very much similar to what I did last year when I had Gabby and Byriel on, and we were all giving away stuff together. So it'll be kind of similar idea with a bit of a giveaway. It'll be the last show of the year as well. We'll be back on January the 17th, so I'm taking a bit of a break from it for the Christmas period. And so just giving you a heads up on where we're at for next week's show. So let's go quickly to our roundup. Let me get rid of that because we don't need it. So, all right, so New Zealand lately, they had their first round of their summer series, and let me just open this up. I haven't looked at these yet, so I know there's been it's all one class, I believe, so let's just check it all for a second here, make sure I'm reading it correctly. So we got, this was the summer series from Lake Waihahi in Huntly. Noah Skip's got the first round. Now, it looks like his father got the second round, but that may be incorrect. It may have been Noah that got the second round. Third round got Dave Vennell, and the third race, is that a race? Yeah, round. Ooh, let me just double check that. Like I said, this is the first time I've read this. I haven't really looked at this just beforehand. Yeah, so Dave Vennell got round 4, Dave Vennell got round 3, Peter Fowler second, Richie Ryder was round 4 was second in that round. Noah Skips, Carl Richmond was third in round 2. Sean Cresswell in round 1, sorry, was third place. So that's over in New Zealand. Now they, I believe, are having their break. Let me just double check what they have coming up. Yep, round 2 for them is on January the 14th. So if you're thinking about it, hook up with the guys over in New Zealand. Give them a shout. They might be able to help you out with a ski if you fancy your chances over there. If you're in New Zealand, go down there and give them all the support you can get. That's that. Now, Canterbury Jet Sports had their second round as well on the South Island. Now, I did reach out to them for results. They didn't put any results up, unfortunately, and they haven't sent through anything to me by the time I went to air. So there's nothing online at the moment, so I don't know what their results were from the weekend. So that's Richie called GP. Right, okay. Thanks for that, Richie. All right, so Grand Prix 1, GP 1, GP 2 was round 1 and 2. All right, okay, got it. Got you now, Richie. Thanks for that, mate. R1's a class. Noah, thanks, mate. Thanks for clearing that up. It's a little bit different from what I was used to. Like I said, it was the first time I read it as well, so that didn't help. If I'd read it earlier, I could have reached out to one of you and clarified that. So my apologies. Now, I'm just touching on this one briefly. Just an update. This is an AGSBA update, and yes, they have been quiet lately. And let's just quickly have a look at where they're at. They've had some legal issues as of lately. I'm not going to go into all that. That's between them and whoever else is involved. But what I will say is the AGSBA will be moving forward with Victoria and New South Wales PWC having venues secure for 2 national rounds in 2024. So well done, guys. The Victorian round is kicking off at Glen Maggie Powerboat Club, 10th and 11th of February. It will have international guest Dawn Dawson, who does all the commentary for all the international races. She'll be over at the World Cup Series in later this month over in Thailand, so she'll be at that commentating. So she'll be at the Victorian race, and then obviously New South Wales PWC racing at Alabama on the 12th and 15th of April as well, which is basically Lake Macquarie, so it's northern Lake Macquarie. So that's fantastic news. Good to see the AGSBA back up and running again after a bit of a hiatus. So roll on with that. And they also have their AGM coming up 16th of December. It's an online. You can only vote if you are a member, and they're also looking for nominations for positions on the committee as well. So president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, social media coordinator, and obviously a general committee. Now the general committee may be one person, and maybe 3, 4, 5 people. I don't know, but I would guess it would depend on how many people put their hand up. So your nominations to be emailed. Nominations to be emailed to the secretary at the secretary's email no later than 5 p.m. on the 16th of December. Now, let me just see. Is there a date? Yep, the AGM is on the 23rd of December, 7 p.m., and it will be a conference call over Zoom. Okay, so good luck with that, guys. And where are we at lately? Okay, let's just go Santa ride. All right, so here we go. Jeff Lakeford, nautical image, was down at the Santa Claus ride. Now, before we move on with this, and congratulations to Jane, Mel, and her team at the weekend there. Fabulous Santa Claus ride, and I have to say, the removal of the world record attempt made such a huge difference to the event itself. It made it a lot more relaxed. People just enjoyed the ride, and enjoyed just showing off our community, even just the fun aspect of it all, and plenty of waving, plenty of pictures getting taken, videos, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go through too much of the pictures, but let me just quickly flash through some of them, and just kind of give you an idea of what was going on. It was a great event. That's Sarah with her grandma, Mrs. Claus, sorry. And now we had the Jet Car Australia were there as well. Obviously, they helped lead the pack, so that was good to see them there. And somebody practicing a skill. I'd be broken in half if that was me. I definitely wouldn't be standing on the back seat, that's for sure. So there we go. One great aerial shot, and it was just such a fun event, and everybody was there for the same same attitude as well. It was just made the event really, really enjoyable to take part in. Yeah, my only, for me, I'm not a huge fan of the wash. Not everybody is, but I still wanted to do it. I still wanted to take part in the event. I put myself at the back, which is fine. Plus, it also helped me kind of keep an eye on anything that might be happening at the back, and there were a couple of people that were having some issues, and I was able to assist them, so it was good as well from that aspect, and I was able to just take it at my own pace as well. And that was the great thing about this event. Everyone was able to take it at their own pace. You know, as long as we weren't, going excessively fast, it was just, that was the great, the good part about the whole event. There we go, going around Chevron Island, and yeah, it was just a great little event. There's some of the organisers with the raffle tickets and the registration table. It was really, really good. Can't fault it. Would have loved a bit, more people in it, but the great thing there was 97 people had been registered the night before, and then we had about another 26, 27 actually came down on the day, and joined the ride. So we actually ended up with about 125 skis, which actually was really, really quite good. Jane was happy, her crew were happy, and really that's all that matters. They were happy with the whole event. I can't remember who this is, but they took out the best ski. They had old Santa sitting on the back with their fishing rod. I don't know if he caught any fish, but yeah, it was just a great event. There's Sarah and Peter. When he's crucified Santa Claus. We had a bit of a joke about that one. There we go. Click through a few more. And then that's Jane. That's Jane there. And yeah, it was good. It was a warm day. Even in the morning, it really cranked up the heat in the morning. It got really quite warm. A lot of people were swimming in the water before just to cool down. But there's my little bad boy. There's my little Santa. Now I'll give you a story about this one. When I was doing this one on the Saturday night with my wife was the leader on this one. I wasn't going to do anything. My wife said to me, she kind of made me feel a bit guilty about not doing anything. So I ended up doing it. Now we did all this, and she held we pushed the lid up, and it didn't have any hat on. And I kid you not, it looked like Darth Maul out of the Star Wars movies. And I should have taken a picture of it then, but it was quite scary when I saw it. But when the hat went on, it kind of made it all look a lot better. So pretty happy. So there we go. That was the idea. It was, like I say, great event. Everybody got involved. They got into the spirit of it, and that really is what it's all about. So can't fault it. So Jeff, great photographs. Jane, well done. I don't think, what else do we have? Got anything else much? I don't think there's much else there. Oh, this is the one I was going to do. So let me just move this little page over. Now, a little bit of history here. This here is the gutter bar. Now, for those of you that don't know the gutter bar, South Moreton Island, okay? Down on a very southern point. It can be a little bit tricky getting into it sometimes in low tide if you're not too sure of where you're going. You've got to be careful where you anchor here, because if the tide goes out, you're going to be left high and dry for a considerable amount of time. But this is the gutter bar back in the day. Let me just move that page. Yeah, back in the day, and before it changed hands and then was knocked down. That's what it used to look like, believe it or not. And then it got knocked down to build the gutter bar that we know now. So, an amazing fixture of the island. 1973 it was started. Basically as a shed. It started off as a shed. Relocated, a new structure was built where the gutter bar stands now. And the original general store was sold off. Used to serve diesel and fuel as well, leaded fuel as well, from two Bowsers out front. Limited alcohol. It was eventually sold. The Bowsers were removed. The store was run by various parties. The current owners, Peter and Katie Smith, purchased the business in the building approximately 10 years ago, rebranded the establishment as a world-famous gutter bar, which is now what we see today. So long may that one continue. And if you ever get the chance, pop in, give it support it. Fantastic little place, and it's great. Great little feed in there. So really, really good. All right, so that's us for this week. Now, my closing video is very much I kind of tip the hat to organisers and the riders that took part in the weekend Santa Claus ride. It's footage I put together. It's just something that I think it's a bit of an acknowledgement to the hard work and sacrifices that the organisers made to put this event together, and also for the riders that took part in it, which was fantastic. So what more can I say, and congratulations to everyone again. So next week is our prize giveaway. We'll chew the fat. Anybody can comment and post what they've done over the last year, and I'll speak up about it. I'll bring it up on the show, and we can reminisce together, and then we'll have the giveaways as well. So next week, 7 o'clock, last one of this year. Let's make it a good one. Until next week, I'm going to leave you with this video for the Santa Claus ride. Stay safe, look after each other, and have fun. Take care.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chiming, jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frost.
So Jane,
Hello.
how are you feeling about today?
Oh, hot actually. I'm feeling very hot, but yeah, excited about today.
Sleepless night?
Yeah, I did actually, because we were at Bunny Sausage Sizzle, and I worked like a 12-hour solid, like clearing that up and doing that, and then putting everything away, and then repacking the car ready for today.
Oh well.
So I was out like a
Early
lion.
start this morning, I would imagine.
Yeah,
All right, cool. Nice one. Have a great day.
Yeah, and you.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
That's the Jingle Bell Rock.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime in Jingle Bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the front.
Good morning, Christmas people. I don't know if that's Santa being crucified or what. I thought it was meant to be a celebration. Oh, and it's Mrs. Claus as well. She's getting crucified. Oh, she's not. She can wave her hands around.
Around the clock, mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. Jingle Bell Rock.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where those treetops listen and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow, the snow. So then I am dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days, may your days, may your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and the children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write.
May those days, may your days, may your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases